They're off. Along the inside for the early lead goes Seeds Mark with Striking Nanny up on the outside. Mama's Royal Flush coming on fourth. She'll be Saturday and around the turn. That's Mama's Royal Flush taking the early lead along the rail second. Seeds Mark, she'll be Saturday third. Striking Ginny is fourth with Timely's Bubble fifth. They go off the quarter-mile pole in 29 and 2. The leader is Mama's Royal Flush. Racing in second to the 3/8 pole goes Seeds Mark. She'll be Saturday third in fourth position. Striking Ginny racing up on the outside fifth to the 3/8. Broadway Angel in sixth position. Timely's Bubble racing in seventh round the turn. As they go to the half-mile mark, that's So Sumi in eighth position on the rail. Hurricane Damage and trailing far back Twilight Skipper. Now taking the lead is She'll Be Saturday racing on the inside. Mama's Royal Flush is second, racing in third to the 3/4 mile pole. That's the Broadway Angel. The leader is She'll Be Saturday, a length and a quarter, racing second to the 3/4. Mama's Royal Flush. In third is the Broadway Angel racing fourth round the turn. Comes So Sumi. They go off the 3/4. 1:30 and 4/5. She'll Be Saturday leads by a length and 3/4. Racing in second, Mama's Royal Flush in third in the lane. That's the Broadway Angel in the stretch. She'll Be Saturday opens up a 5-length advantage. Racing in second position, that's Mama's Royal Flush, but it's She'll Be Saturday. They're off. Along the inside, that Solar Explosion with Brian Wolf driving up on the outside for position. Goes 1 o'clock jump, and into the turn they go. The early leader is Solar Explosion. Racing second is Brian Wolf in third. As they go over to the quarter-mile juncture, that's Perfect Skippy into the stretch the first time on the front end. The leader by a length and a half as they go by the quarter in 29 and 3/5. Solar Explosion racing in second to the 3/8 mark. That's Brian Wolf racing in third as they pass the stands the first time. Comes Perfect Skippy on the outside, hanging fourth to the half-mile mark. Goes Smoky Major with 1 o'clock jump fifth. They swing around the turn, go into the half-mile mark on the front end. Solar Explosion, the leader, racing in second is Brian Wolf. Up on the outside now under pressure comes Smoky Major. They go off the half-mile. 1 and 2/5. That's Smoky Major on the outside down along the rail. Solar Explosion racing up to be third now with Strong End. In fourth is Brian Wolf. On the outside, taking a length lead to the 3/4 goes Smoky Major. Strong End comes on sharply second. Moving up to be third round the turn to the 3/4. That's Charlie Bundy with TT Flame. In the lane, Smoky Major the leader. Strong End racing second. In third through the stretch comes Charlie Bundy. On the front end, the leader by 2 lengths now is Smoky Major. On the outside, Charlie Bundy is closing, but it's Smoky Major. Pops Ira off stride at the start. They're off. Fine start with 6 horses driving out for that lead. Down along the inside, coming away well, was Lake Tahoe with McGuire moving up. And around the turn, that's McGuire. On the outside, the challenger second of the quarter-mile juncture goes Poco Rebel, racing up to be third as they enter the stretch the first time. That's the Fish Story. They move over to the quarter-mile. Fish Story ranges up on the outside to challenge Poco Rebel for the lead. He'll get the lead. Racing in third, McGuire. Lake Tahoe is fourth. Racing in fifth to the 3/8 marker comes Strike Me Rich. On the outside, ranging up 6 now as they go to the half mile. That's RJ, followed in 7th to the half by Tall Timbers. And around the turn they go. The leader by 3 lengths is Fish Story. Trotting in second to the half mile mark goes Poco Rebel. On the inside third, that's McGuire moving up sharply. Fourth to the upper turn goes RJ. Tall Timbers moves up fifth. Getting locked in there, Lake Tahoe is sixth. On the outside, 7th, that's Strike Me Rich with Jano Domino. Into the 3/4, the Fish Story leads a length and a half. On the outside now, the challenger second is RJ. Trotting along the rail third to the corner goes Poco Rebel, racing in fourth position after 3/4. Tall Timbers down along the rail fifth as they turn for off stride now was Lake Tahoe. In the lane, Fish Story leads by a length and a half. That's Tall Timbers closing ground on the outside. Poco Rebel between horses. Also on the move is McGuire. That's Poco Rebel on the outside. Down along the rail, Fish Story. They're off. That smooth swinger out sharply for the early lead. Sticky Weather came away. On the outside, the Woodcliff Wonder moves up third. Into that first turn they go, taking the early lead is Smooth Swinger. Woodcliff Wonder tucks second, racing in third. Sticky Weather racing in fourth, Shelley's Racer. Abacus Firefox is fifth. In sixth, TS Special. Samson Chief seventh. Tricky Affair and Barbarous at the end. They go off the quarter, 30 2/5. The leader is Smooth Swinger, a length and a quarter, racing in second position. The Woodcliff Wonder in third as they go to the 3/8 pole now. That's Sticky Weather. Driving from third was Sticky Weather. How about that one? In the outside fourth to the half mile mark goes Abacus Firefox, and around the turn they go. The leader by a length to the half mile mark is Smooth Swinger. Down along the inside second of the 3/4 goes the Woodcliff Wonder. Sticky Weather moving up sharply now. That's Sticky Weather on the outside. Smooth Swinger along the rail. Racing in third to the 3/4 mile pole goes Abacus Firefox. TS Special comes on fourth. Racing in fifth along the rail, the Woodcliff Wonder. In sixth position on the outside is Barbarous. Racing seventh to the turn goes Shelley's Racer. They go off the 3/4 mile pole, 1:33 2. It's Sticky Weather on a short lead. On the outside with the rush, TS Special. That's TS Special moving up on the outside to gain command. Sticky Weather is second. Closing ground is Barbarous third towards the inside. Smooth Swingers coming on again. They're across the track.
That's hustled out fast for the lead. Driving up on the outside goes Juggler with Go alongside third. They race into that first turn. On the front end is Juggler in front by 3. Off stride round the turn is Hustled. Deeks Matador at the rail in second. Up on the outside to be third is Go. Spanish Press is fourth. Into the stretch for the first time, Juggler's got the top. Deeks Matador in second. Spanish Press drops in third. That's Go racing fourth off the quarter 30 and a tick. By the stands the first time, Juggler leads by 2. Deeks Matador in the pocket second. Spanish Press is third. Go racing fourth. JR's Chip is fifth. Then it's Candent racing sixth. Noble Tarport is seventh. Pato Sioux is eighth. In ninth position is Hustled, and trailing the field, Clever Boy. Over to the half. They pass the half in 1, 2, and 2/5. It's Juggler maintaining the lead by 2.5, now 3. Hanging on the outside second is Spanish Press ahead. At the rail in third is Deeks Matador. Go is 3 lengths back in fourth. Then it's JR's Chip on the outside fifth. In sixth is Candent. Into the upper turn, Juggler stays there 1.25 lengths. Up on the outside, Spanish Press is second. That's Deeks Matador at the rail third. Go is fourth. They pass the 3/4 in 1, 32 and 3. They turn for the money with Juggler in front by 3. Spanish Press out there second. Deeks Matador third. They're inside the 8th pole. It's Juggler in front by 3. Closing ground between horses is Deeks Matador. Juggler's under a drive. Deeks Matador up for the lead. Ten, 9, 3.
They're off. That's Bovis for the early lead. Coming away along the inside, Smiler's Pride. Getting off third as they race into the first turn goes Maxi Magoo with Pac Cozio and Margin of Victory. And around the turn, Bovis has gone off stride. The leader now by 1 length to the 1/4 mile pole. That's Smiler's Pride. Margin of Victory moves up to challenge second. Racing in third after a quarter comes Maxi Magoo. In fourth is Pac Cozio. Racing fifth, Visitor. And now Smiler's Pride moves up to regain command. Margin of Victory racing second. In third position as they go to the 3/8 pole. That's Maxi Magoo. Pac Cozio is fourth. Racing on the outside fifth to the half-mile marker. Speed bump, and around the turn they go. The leader by 1 length as they go to the backside. That's Smiler's Pride. Up on the outside, Maxi Magoo to challenge second. Racing in third to the 3/4 goes Margin of Victory. Pac Cozio is fourth. Racing in fifth is the Speed Bump. In sixth along the rail, Visitor. Matt Mahone is seventh. Racing in eighth, Rock Hollywood. Far back, the Bovis. They go to the 3/4, staying out there 3/4 of a length. Smiler's Pride. Maxi Magoo is gaining ground second. Racing in third. Pac Cozio in fourth as they turn for home. Comes Margin of Victory. In the stretch on the outside, that's Maxi Magoo taking the lead. Moving up second now is Pac Cozio. In third through the lane comes Smiler's Pride on the outside. That's Pac Cozio gaining command. Racing in second through the stretch, Maxi Magoo, but it's Pac Cozio. They're off. That's final act out for the early lead between horses. Native Valentine coming away well. Natural Nat, and it's Natural Nat that takes the lead. Native Valentine is second, final act third. Ranging up on the outside as they swing round the turn to the quarter. Jewel K Escort into the stretch for the first time. Natural Nat leads by 2. Racing in second, Native Valentine. Final act is third, hung on the outside fourth. Jewel K Escort racing fifth. Anita Skipper in sixth as they go to the 3/8 pole. That's Netta Gale in seventh now. Comes Eternally Reed on the outside. Night Shadow moves up eighth, followed in ninth by Super Plus and TJ's Charity. And around the turn they go. The leader by 2 is Natural Nat racing in second. Native Valentine on the outside third. That's Jewel K Escort, the half, in a minute and 2/5. They go to the 3/4. Natural Nat's had the best of it, still does, a length and a half. Native Valentine racing second on the outside. Jewel K Escort third, saving ground. Final act fourth. Sanita Skipper moving 3 wide. Fifth in sixth is Netta Gale. Into the 3/4 on the front end. The leader by a length is Natural Nat. Sanita Skipper hustles up to be second. Along the rail, Native Valentine third. Finding room now is Final Act. She's out and going. The leader is Natural Nat on the outside. Final Act's pacing up a storm. That's Final Act going right by, saying adios. Final Act. They're off. That's Lovin' Rainbow out sharply for the lead with Miss Comiskey on the outside. Miss Happy Escort, and it's Miss Happy Escort that takes the early. Lovin' Rainbow is second, Miss Comiskey third. Straight B's racing fourth. In fifth, Diralba. Mudge's Shannon and Osborne's Ecstasy. Field of 7 come into the stretch the first time. The leader, Miss Happy Escort. Lovin' Rainbow pacing second off the quarter, 29 2/5. Miss Happy Escort, the leader, racing second. Lovin' Rainbow in third. Miss Comiskey racing fourth. Straight B's on the outside. Diralba moves up fifth. Racing sixth to the half mile is Mudge's Shannon. Osborne's Ecstasy is the trailer. As they swing around the turn, go over to the half mile. Staying out there a length and a half. The leader is Miss Happy Escort. Lovin' Rainbow driving in second, the half mile, a minute and 2/5. On the front end, Miss Happy Escort a half length. On the outside, the challenger second is Lovin' Rainbow racing third. Diralba along the rail, Miss Comiskey fourth. Straight B's is fifth. Mudge's Shannon and Osborne's Ecstasy. They're double-deckered as they go to the 3/4. That's Miss Happy Escort, 3/4 of a length. Lovin' Rainbow out there gaining ground now. Second to 3/4, 1:30 1/5. Lovin' Rainbow on the outside with a short lead. Along the rail, Miss Happy Escort racing in third position on the inside as they drive through the stretch. That's Ms. Comiskey. It's Lovin' Rainbow, the leader. Mudge's Shannon moves up with Miss Happy Escort, but it's Lovin' Rainbow. They're off. That's Miss Xavier and Neat and Nice for the early lead. On the outside, coming away into the turn, goes Candy Trip. And around the turn, that's Candy Trip on the outside, Neat and Nice along the rail. Hung out there third to the quarter-mile juncture. Now tucking in third is Gamby's Jezebel, racing in fourth as they enter the stretch the first time. Miss Xavier with Bretta Fashion fifth. Neat and Nice shows the way a length and a half, racing in second to the 3/8 pole. Goes Candy Trip, racing in off stride in the rear there. Horses bothered was Keep a Secret, impeded was She'll Be Super and Laura Faze. Neat and Nice leads under a high rein on the outside. That's Bretta Fashion, racing in third as they go to the half-mile juncture. On the rail comes Candy Trip. On the outside, taking the lead is Bretta Fashion. Neat and Nice racing second. Candy Trip is third, racing in fourth to the 3/4-mile pole. Goes Gamby's Jezebel, racing in fifth on the backside. That's Miss Xavier. They go to the 3/4. The leader by a length and a half into the turn is Bretta's Fashion. Candy Trip moves up second ahead. Neat and Nice along the rail is third. Racing in fourth to the corner comes Gamby's Jezebel, 3/4, 129 3. The leader is Bretta Fashion by 3 lengths. Towards the inside, second, Neat and Nice, racing in third through the lane comes Candy Trip. On the front end, the leader is Bretta's Fashion by 4 lengths. Racing in second through the stretch comes Candy Trip, but it's Bretta Fashion. They're off. Along the inside, Gruff for the early lead. On the rail coming away was Meadow Rainbow. Driving up on the outside between horses, Fox Valley Baron. On the far outside round the turn goes the 5-iron. That's Fox Valley Baron taking the lead. 5-iron takes a tuck second, racing in third. Gruff, Meadow Rainbow fourth. Racing in fifth, Thundering Autumn. They go by the quarter-mile, 30 seconds. The leader as they go into the 3/8 by a length and a half now. That's Fox Valley Baron, racing in second position by the stands. The first time is 5-iron. Gruff is third. Thundering Autumn comes on fourth, racing in fifth. Meadow Rainbow on the outside, sixth to the half-mile marker. Rick's Rain racing in seventh. Go Ahead Girl. They swing into the half-mile pole. The leader by a length, Fox Valley Baron. On the outside, Thundering Autumn racing second in third. The 5-iron racing fourth. Rick's Rain down along the inside, fifth to the upper turn. Gruff on the outside, sixth to the 3/4. Roustabout Rick, and now Thundering Autumn under pressure takes the lead a half length. Now a full length, racing in second, Fox Valley Baron. 5-iron comes on third, racing in fourth to the 3/4-mile pole. That's Gruff on the front end with a short lead. Thundering Autumn on the outside, 5-iron, the challenger second. They're in the lane. It's Thundering Autumn under a high rein. On the outside, closing ground is Gruff. Thundering Autumn leads. That's Gruff closing in the middle of the track. Racing in third along the rail is Meadow Rhythm. A driving finish.